Okay, so let's proceed. This is our form once again. I've removed the backgrounds. I've showed you how to adjust the layout and what each of those options means. How you can adjust the colors and background, and how you can adjust and what is under miscellaneous. Now, you might be asking me that, okay, what is like the standard way to create a form? Can we see some real world examples? What's the standard way so that you don't just, mess up different things. So the thing is, initially messing up different things, doing a lot of adjustment, just changing the colors, changing the layout, doing within your own way is the best way to learn. Just like you are new to Photoshop or Canva and then you're just trying out different things. That's one of the best way to learn. However, in this course, I'll still show you some modern, typical, standard form, and I'll show you how to create it from scratch, from start to finish, and that'll give you some perspective. All right. In the meantime, just keep on practicing, like generally. Got it? Now, that's everything under the style. Now, how do we get to the style once again? You will typically have a screen like this. If you click on any of the field, you will see the adjustment for that particular field. But if you want to see the entire style, click out and then come here, style and options, and then you see this. Now, that's everything under style. Now let's go to themes. Themes is like pre-made templates, right? Pre-made template theme. If I click on use theme, it just automatically loads in that theme and it overrides everything I have here. Okay, but I don't want to use theme. Okay, once again, themes are like pre-made templates, just like choosing a template before starting your form creation, like I showed you. I'll just cross over to advanced. I don't want theme, or you could check it out anyways. But I'll cross over to advanced. But once again, if you choose theme, it overrides what you've done already. It's just put in a template, and then you can start customizing and adjusting the templates. But I'll just go to advanced. Now in advanced, we have more customization and it even becomes more interesting. Under advanced, we have category of form. Advanced, we can adjust things based on the form generally, adjust things based on the input field, adjust things based on the label, based on the placeholder, short label, and all that. Now, let me give you an hint or a sneak peek into advanced. If I should come to the form segment here or the form aspect here, I can do some cool things like this. Corner radius, I can change it to like 20. And look at what it does. It rounded the edge of my form, rounded the edge neatly and nicely. And by the way, you could do that rounding of edge to your button as well. How do you do that? Click on your button. If you come over here, I think I didn't show you. Come to border. You see corner roundness. It's currently on 8. It's rounded a bit. If you look at it, you see that it's rounded a bit. The button is rounded a bit, but I could make it even more visible, like doing like 25. That's even way more visible. Can you see? So you could round the edge of stuff. Click on the button to round the edge, or go to advanced to round the edge of the form entirely or other stuff. I'm coming. So corner radius 20. That's radius means, I mean, if you're a mathematics student, you know what radius means, right? What's radius? The shortest distance. Sorry, radius is the line between the center of a circle and any point in the circumference. But either ways, the radius here is talking about the edge, okay? Rounding the edge. Now, corner radius is, rounding the edge. It's currently on 20. If I should change it to 50, it becomes even more obvious. But let's just do like 10. 10 is like just fine. Okay, and then border color. I already told you, and I already gave you an idea of what border means when I was explaining the button. Border is like that layer that comes on the edge. It's like an outline. If you are familiar with tools like Corel Draw, outline, right? Outline means that area that comes on the edge. So that what border means in this case. So border color, but to have a border color, you should even have a border first. So and you can choose your border width here. So if I want an edge all over my form and I want it to be like 5 pixel, color should be red. Look at that. I don't really like border around my form, although it could be stylish. I mean, just look at, let's make it green. It could make sense. That makes sense. Let's now do the radius to like 15. Now starting to look like it. Border width to like 3. Nice, nice. And let's adjust the input. the input where they put in their name and information. Let's make it a very low shade of green. So if I should come back to here, if you remember our inputs, you come to style, colors and background, input background. Yeah, everything now is taking on the green effect. So that looks cool. And if I come back to my advanced, okay, so in choosing your border style, you can choose your border style for the overall form, and then those are the adjustments you can make to the form. Also, hey, you could do shadow adjustment to the form, the overall form. If you look at this form, there's a little bit of shadow. You know what? Let me remove the border. It allows you to see it better. You see the shadow over here? There's a bit of shadow. I can choose to remove the shadow. Shadow is little. I can choose to remove it completely. Shadow is actually dependent on the color you choose. And then I can choose the horizontal position of the shadow, vertical position, the blur, the spread. These things affect the shadow. You can come and play around with it. Okay. Then that's all under the form, as an advanced adjustment. Corner radius, border width, all that kind of stuff. You can do it with the form. Then we have other options here that I'll cover in the next lesson, or subsequent lessons.